Is it on?
I think it's on.
Hi, everybody.
It says live, yeah.
It's Bridget Parvin and Doug Parvin with Serenity and Sobriety for the hour, and we're really excited that you're joining us. Thank you for all of you who are about to watch us, or live, or later on. So what we do is we have a topic discussion, and so this week's topic is our past is our greatest asset. I also want you to know, if you would like any consultations during the week, any kind of coaching, you can find us on our website. It's bridgetparvin.com, and also on the Facebook page, How to Get Your Life Back, where I am co-authoring a book with Doreen Virtue that will be published by Hay House in 2018. And we're really excited about that, and it's about just healing through addictions with guidance from your Creator, from God, and of your own understanding. And just, it's a fabulous book that will be released next year, which is fastly approaching. Also, you can find us on Instagram under bridget.parvin. And for those of you on Instagram, later on, after it closes, after the hour, if you had your reading on there, you can, and if you missed it, you can find it on How to Get Your Life Back. And I know that Doug's also working on a new YouTube channel, so tell them what that is.
Yeah, there's a new YouTube channel called Bridget Parvin, and all of the past episodes are on there. So we are on episode 29, so there's almost 30 episodes. So if you like it and you want to go back and like the archive and look up and all of the topics are on there, so if you see a topic you want to, feel free.
It's awesome. So thank you, Doug, for sharing that.
I'll put a link up on here too.
Okay, fabulous. So in that, let's get started. If you have any questions or would like any guidance or prayer requests, please stick them in the comment section, and we'll be sure to get to as many as possible. And then at the end, we will do a guidance for the whole group in case we missed your questions and anything that you were looking for. So thank you for being here with us. So what this week's topic is, our past is our greatest asset. So in that, knowing that when you're able to walk through it in process anything that is a deep, dark secret, there's beautiful healing at the end of that. And I'm just going to put it out there to start it and the way that it is. So one of the things is experience is the greatest teacher. And in that, knowing that there's nothing that has happened in the past that could hold you back from being your full potential and being that divine spark that you were meant to be. And I'm going to share a couple of things that had happened with me in my past and on my path of recovery. There was a point in time before I met Doug, and I met Doug in Sobriety. I always say that Sobriety...
We had similar paths, by the way.
Yes, we had very similar paths, but in that, knowing with our similar past, one of the things that happened in my life was there were some deep, dark secrets that I was working on once I got into recovery. And there were people in my life who had not seen or accepted that I got into recovery, which was really interesting. So the people that I thought would be supportive weren't. And then the new people who were on my path of recovery were very helpful and understanding and wanted the best for me. And there were also a lot of people that wanted me to remain the same. And in that, they hadn't known exactly what the process of my recovery was. And I started to lead a new life, a beautiful new life, in that not doing the things that I was doing or partaking in the activities that I was doing. And believe it or not, from a past, which you'll find out in the book, How to Get Your Life Back, it was pretty interesting of what I had even been alive and made it through. We'll put it at that for now. And there was a lot of drama, a lot of chaos, and it was really a very dark place. And when I got into recovery, I ended up meeting somebody they were not following the path of recovery, but they were a good person in the community, and it was he was in law enforcement, and I had just opened the beauty salon, and so when I was doing that, I focused all of my attention on recovery and taking care of my daughter, and of going to do whatever I needed to do to stay open with business and to start this new life. Well, this person that I met completely dived into the Sheriff's Academy, and later on, we created this home and got engaged. And some people around me saw this great change in me, and they were very fearful. They were very fearful because of the way that I wasn't the same. Things that used to work or things that used to get me did no longer work, and it no longer held its weight. So in this, they didn't know how to respond, and they reacted, and I responded instead of reacted. And what happened was my ex-fiance ended up getting a phone call from one of the persons, and this person decided to tell them every single skeleton that I had ever had in my closet. I mean, everything. They were, no pun intended, bearing no bones. That's funny, isn't it?
That's funny.
That was really funny. They did not leave one bone left in that closet. And this was a huge fear because, first and foremost, I'd worked on it with my mentor, and I was working on the process of being free from it and knowing the part of not to have any regret about the past, because it would become my greatest asset. And I want you to know, if you take away one thing, that the most distasteful experiences that you have ever had in your life can be turned to gold, okay? And I got through this process to heal, and once it started losing its grip, I was mortified when, these secrets were exposed to this person, because I was not ready for that yet. And so I still I just kind of was sharing about it with safe people, but yet this was a process that I had not been ready to share with my ex-fiance. And in it, I knew it was a deal breaker, because he would arrest people like me from if I would have got caught. This is the type of things with, running on the streets and partying like I was doing. I mean, these are it was like breaking the law at that point in time. And I no longer live like that. Just now I'm able to help other people who are new people walking on that path and need the light of recovery. And so my past has been turned into my greatest asset. And my mentor would tell me, whatever I'd gone through, don't shut that door on it, because there's other people going through those darkness of the soul. And in that today, there's nothing at all that can be held against me that I have not brought out to the light. And once I was able to do that, and I know I'm not that person anymore, and I no longer practice that lifestyle first and foremost, and right now, I do know when there are people that are placed in my life, I know that my Creator uses me for the greater good of the whole. And one of the things, if I would have kept all of those secrets in the past, that would have been like my story. But once I bring all of those out, then it gets to be known of the miracles that happens when I turn my life over and work with a Creator and know that there's someone else in charge of my life besides myself.
Story.
Yeah, it's God's story. So to give up the secrets, we have to bring them to the light and share them with a safe person, with an inventory, and not with somebody who will, oftentimes it's not with the closest person around you. That is what I found. And so anything that I even share with my husband Doug today, I have a mentor and a spiritual advisor who I work with these things through in process, and we work and grow together. But yet Doug is not my person who is my resource or the source of where I go and do those things, of what it took for me to heal through that. And so I suggest any extra professional help that you need.
Just to pause on that, and yes. It's just like in our relationship, it's not, we do work through a lot of things together, But if there's an issue as a couple, but if there's something that she's working on that she may have the intuition or the idea that this could possibly, harm me or bring something up in me, she'll run it by her mentor before she brings it to me, and then she'll come to me with a solution or something like that. So it's not like there's secrets or anything in our relationship.
Yeah, right.
Or that we don't feel trusting in the other. We just don't want to harm each other in that type of a situation.
Right. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So, and one of the things is when you're able to do that with a person, a spiritual advisor, a mentor, a coach, or anyone, a trusted person, there is a great purpose in that. And you want to know that you have freedom from doing that. And in that, guilt is the lowest vibration. It is the gift that keeps on giving. And so when you share your story, it's absolutely grace in action. It's kind of like your actions speak so much louder than your words, I can't hear what you're saying. One of those types of things. So it's like that walking example. And in that, when you have that freedom in your possession, you hold a golden key. And with that golden key, it's our responsibility to share what's in that golden key and help others unlock the door to their secrets so it doesn't rule or run their life. And that's the beauty and that's the freedom, to help them unlock the door. Now, another secret key to that is everybody has that available access to that. It's for those who want it, not always for those who need it. And that could be the heartbreaking part, and that's where codependency comes in, because we want people to get better. We want them to feel better or lead a better life. And sometimes we just got to let go, because that choice is theirs. It is theirs. And so sometimes the oblivion of whatever they're practicing in addictions, in being in that oblivion, they may not even see or know that they have choices. So just never lose hope. Never lose hope. Don't enable, which is doing for them what they could do for themselves and feeling like you can save them from natural order of how things are going to fall anyway, because that is enabling, and that would be of what we do to try to buffer any falls that they may have. But know that they're protected, and know that the best thing that you could do is send good thoughts to them and send prayers. Put them on prayer chains. Put them, there's
please, pray.
I know that when I hit my bottom, I was literally put on a prayer chain. Little did I know, everything from that turn of events that was happening was leading me to that very bottom of that emotional bottom that there was no return, and it was never the same after that. So for me, that is the past of me, and my greatest asset is I don't live there anymore. Right. I got new keys. So I'd love to hear from you now, Doug.
Well, initially when I got sober, this idea of our past is our greatest asset is like, that was nowhere on the radar. That is not. No. That is the past is what's keeping me drinking, because I don't want to face any of that stuff. The past is what has gotten me to this place where I'm at now, in this desperation. I didn't see anything good about my past.
Right.
And then I'd have remorse and guilt over the people that I had harmed. Just all. You name it. But it's getting through to the other side, having a dependence on a power greater than yourself, that actually brings hope. It's like, oh, there's something else out there that's on my side, or, that wants the best for me, because I've harmed most of all the people that wanted the best for me, I had harmed. Mm. And so through my addictions and alcohol and just behavior. And so the thing about that, and our past being our greatest asset is, and having worked through that with somebody, it's a blessing. And I like how Bridget was saying that that's my story, and God's story starts when I started doing this work on myself, higher on the self, and there was things, and it's not an easy or a quick fix or anything like that. I remember I was trying, I'm learning about this, that our past, and looking at our past and inventorying it and keeping the good stuff, the nuggets of truth, and the person, because it's not that our past is all in red ink. It's like it's our past that we've got good stuff in there too. It's like good people, good person, good heart, all that kind of stuff. It's just misdirected or covered up. And so, I think our last one was uncover, discover, and discard. That's kind of what this kind of leads on. It's like after we've done that, it's like, now that we've done that, it's like this is a process that we're, we can share this with somebody else that we can see that it might help them on their journey, because I've learned to learn from others and this kind of thing. And I remember, in this process, and I'm going through this, I'm doing my best, and some of it just is like, no, that ain't gonna work. It's like, and I remember I was trying to get a little apartment, and I thought the truth was something that you gave answers to if you were asked the question, and it was very vague. And so I was trying to get this apartment because through drugs and alcohol, I didn't have a good rental history.
You were running a game.
I was running a game. I was running amok.
I'm so glad I didn't know you then.
and so anyway, I got sober, and I went through a transitional home, and I getting out of the transitional home, and want to get an apartment. Just the next progression. And I go to this place that has apartments, and I fill out the app. I mean, I'm terrified filling out this application because of my past. Mm. And so I left blanks. It's like
holes.
There was holes, yeah. And it's like, and so anyway, one of them was, any references, and I'm like 30-something years old, and I can't put a reference in it. And so he calls me up, and he says, I see you, it looks like you may have missed this spot. And I was like, no, I didn't. I purposely left it blank. And he said, why? And I said, well, you're not going to like the stuff that you find. And he said, well, why don't you? And here's the thing. I believe that there was a power greater than myself working in my life that had gotten me to this point where I'm filling this application out. And I've become able to trust in this power more and more. So anyway, I filled this out. And he says, just put down what you can remember or whatever, and just, and I'll get back with you. So I did. I filled it out, and I'm thinking, I'm writing this stuff down there, and it's like, oh, brother, here he's going to find this, he's going to find this, and this. And so I put it down there and give it back to him, and next day he calls, and I'm on pins and needles. Wait, I don't know what's he going to say? I'm just scared. And so he calls me back, and he says, I looked at your report, and none of that stuff you wrote down even came up. And I was like,
I love this.
Oh my gosh, I was terrified of all that stuff. And he says, but wait, there's some other stuff that did. And I was like,
teeny stuff.
I didn't know about. But here I was running my life. I was trying to hide that stuff. And here it's not even, it's like the big boogeyman, and I'm drinking, trying to stuff that stuff down, and it's not even real. I'm basing my life on these things that are not even real, because I'm afraid to face those fears. And by doing it and stepping through, and the more fears you walk through, you find out that these are just boogeymen. There's nothing behind them. Some things we need to make amends for and clean up. There's things that came through on that I needed to go back and clean up, which I did, because I can hold my hand and I can look people in the eye today. Because I've done that process. It's a long process. It's an ongoing process, and so, but there was an instance, and it's like, initially when I'm doing this, we got secrets, when I started doing this, getting sober and doing this work, it's like, I had secrets. It's like I went and met with my sponsor, my mentor, and they say there's a take it to the grave thing. It's like, well, that's all well and good, but I'll give you this much, but I'm not going to go, down here. And so that's what I did. I gave him this much, and I didn't want to, that stuff that I was ashamed and felt guilt and remorse and all that stuff that I never wanted to tell another person. And I held on to that. And I was trying, all these things. I think I've shared this on some of the other ones where, I'm trying to logically get by this. And one of the things, and it was when computers were new, and I would even think of this thing that I was ashamed of, fear, guilt, remorse, all that kind of stuff, and I would visualize, because I'm visual, I would visualize it in my mind, and I'd drag and drop it over into the garbage can on the computer, and I'd get a little bit of relief out of it. Now these are things that I would drink over. These are things I wanted relief from, and so I'm dragging and dropping over, and I had become a Christian. And I was, visualizing the crown of thorns on his head, and the pain and all the suffering that Christ went through. And I'm visualizing that he paid the price and all this. And it would hold for a little while, and that's my belief today. But it would pacify, because I had deep remorse and guilt on these things. And finally, later on, I had ended up proposing to Bridget. And when I wanted to come into this marriage, I wanted to come into it clean. And so I called my mentor, I got him on the phone, and I was so scared. All I could say was that take it to the grave thing. And he says, come on over and let's talk. And so I went over to his house, I shared those things with him, and I tell you the weight off, because he didn't judge me. He shared his experiences with me and his past. And the weight off my shoulders, it felt like my world got bigger. I just felt this huge relief, and then felt that relief, and then like the second or next thought was like, man, whew, I'm glad that's over with. I'm never sharing this with anybody else ever again. Okay, that was the thought, until I started working with other men through these processes, through addictions, through alcoholism, and of course, that was my thought. I'm never going to share this. And I'm working with this guy, and we're doing this heart work. And he shares this stuff, and my heart just starts beating. And it's like, oh my God, I have to share with him my experience. And take it to the grave stuff, so it helps him feel, that he's not judged. He's not, that he's free. And sure enough, I shared it with him, and it's like, so I've been freed of it, and by that past being a greatest asset, I can share my experience and help others get freedom, and here again, not have to drink or do what it takes to numb out or not face it, or any of those things. And here again, it comes to be that helping and somebody else face their boogeyman, and it's been it's been freeing, literally freeing. And and here it is. It's like I don't have to look down at things anymore, or look at my shoes. I can actually look at the sky and people in the eyes and that kind of thing, because I've been able to work through those things, and that's where the past is the greatest asset. Because there's things that like I said, my heart's pounding. I don't want to do this. I don't want to share it with this guy, and I know it's because I'm I'm led, and it's like this, and I've got to do it, and because other men had done the same with me. It's like once I shared something, then my mentor, my sponsor, shared his experience. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm a human being. I'm not this, lower person on this planet. I'm just trying to do this thing as the best I can, and I make mistakes, and I have flaws, and perfectly flawed. I love that. And so anyway, that's having the courage to face those fears. And it's so good to be in groups of people who are my journey was through the 12 steps, and that was being able to walk with somebody who had that experience. It's like, and I've done the same in other groups. And when I got diagnosed with Lyme disease, I went to support groups for people with Lyme disease, and to see and share our experiences to get through that disease. So
right.
So it's multifaceted.
Find your tribe.
Find your tribe. Yeah.
And
safe, and they're safe. They felt to me they were safe people.
Yes.
Because of their experience.
Absolutely. And I would love to share that after that happened, prior to me meeting Doug, with the thing with the ex-fiance, it is not why we split up. We didn't split up because everything was exposed, and there were, it was just out of the closet. Every single piece of my whole life was out of the closet. And that is not why we split up. We actually got engaged after that. The reason why we split up, fast forward, like 8 months later, he fell in love with someone else on that was in his profession. And so that is why we split up, not the other reason. And in that, I was devastated. I was completely devastated because for the first time in my life had been getting on track, and I'd, been in recovery and was taking care of my daughter, started a business, and was in this relationship at the point in time for that. Serving the purpose was a great path for me to be on. And in that, I was devastated, and my mentor said, Bridget, this is going to be used for the greater good because you are going to be able to help other women and other men who are going through something similar like this. And I remember, I'll never forget, I was at a payphone and I was saying, what good can this ever be? What could this ever be? I mean, I was devastated, beyond devastated. I mean, it was in that dark hole.
Yeah, it's not rosy and
it wasn't.
Crying.
Yes,
and,
it was.
I mean, it's not. It's not for sissies. I mean,
right.
I say that lightly, but not lightly.
Right,
to pull that stuff up and look at it is not.
Yes.
It's painful.
Yes.
But the beauty is getting to the other side of that.
And the truth was, with that, it's like beauty to ashes.
Yeah,
ashes to beauty. Ashes to beauty. And in that, everything that was taken out, those things were true. Those skeletons that were taken out of the closet, every single one of that situation, every single thing of it was the truth of what the past had been like. I had done all of every single thing that was on there. The true story of it was that was no longer me. And that's the whole golden key to it. That is, I no longer lived there. And so I would like to open this up now for if anybody has any comments or questions or requests or wants any guidance. We'll need to refreshen this. I want to welcome everybody who's joining us, and we have Instagram and Facebook. So in this, when the feed moves, I want to acknowledge that I love you guys all for being here. And let's see, so we'll just kind of on any of them. I'm so happy. This is Genevieve. I'm so happy I'm catching your live feed this week. We are too, Genevieve. Hope you both are doing well. I would love a card pull. Thanks for doing what you guys do. Well, we're very happy that you're here with us. I will do a card pull for you. I'm going with the Archangel Gabriel deck. Okay, so this is by Doreen Virtue, and this will be a 3-card pull. So here we go, Genevieve. Share your art with the world. It is time to allow others to enjoy your creative work. What that means is, in here, express yourself through the creativity of what you do. And when you do that, it's kind of this beautiful time for this inward reflection, and you're creating something beautiful, whether it be jewelry or painting. You're also going to be really kind of shutting off the outside noise, so to speak. And it's one of those things that get centered while you do it. Whatever you're creating, do a little beautiful, just quiet time, and just ask your heart what you would truly like to do for your creativity. And it's going to expand and open the doors for some greater things coming your way. And in that, the second card is vulnerability. Listen to your vulnerable feelings as they contain wisdom and inspiration. And I'm getting that once you tap into your creativity, this is going to open the door for more here. And then pray for strength to focus on your priorities no matter what. And in that, it's just going to tune you out from the noise of the outside. It will be a part where you're kind of going and looking inward. And in that, your beauty will be using your hands and creating something really beautiful with that. And the next card is deserving. You, like all of God's children, deserve happiness, health, and love. And so you really need to carve out that quiet time for yourself right now. I'm getting that you really give a lot to others, so you're pretty busy. And in that, this will fill up your cup when you take out the time to give yourself this gift too. Okay, so thank you for being with us, Genevieve. Really pleased that you're here. I love the way that you spell your name also. Okay, so we're here with you.
Oh, here we go. Here's Stephanie Bowen.
Hi, Stephanie.
And it looks like, yes, this is. It says, I'm back to school this week in a very challenging environment and would love guidance on maintaining serenity during the school year. Thanks for all the positive energy. Thank you as well.
Awesome.
And
Thank
yes,
you.
School has begun, huh?
It has.
Actually, let's go with the butterflies.
There you go.
Changes.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you in November in Yosemite, Stephanie. I always love catching up with you there, my soul sister.
Beautiful cards. Okay.
Oh, beautiful.
So we have. So the first card that comes up, Stephanie, is take the next step now. So what I'm getting is it's just like, moving in and I'm getting also that you're taking those steps and moving into it, but it's kind of like, as you see the butterfly, and it's kind of in here, and there's a lot of activity and stuff going on in the front, and it's like being able to step into activities and doing other things, and not to get wrapped up in sometimes the things that are going on around you, and sometimes just to be an observer and see what areas you want to interact in and some that you don't, and as you go through that process, just keep the faith. That says keep the faith, and letting your light shine.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's like being that light, and sometimes it's not saying or doing anything. It's just being still and being quiet, and people are drawn to that as well. And so by doing that, the next card here is join in. And so here again, it's kind of like this, not to just be an observer, but to join in on things that resonate with you. And I'm getting also with meditation, to, it's like sometimes it's like I'm so busy I don't have time to meditate. It's like, well, no, it's almost like you need to meditate more, or and it doesn't have to be a lengthy thing. It can be just a moment. Humming is a good thing. Sometimes if you get nervous or something, you can just pause and just sometimes people don't even know you're doing it, and just to come back into yourself and get back into the body, because there's a lot. School, there's a lot of energy, and
Summer flew by pretty fast.
Summer
too.
flew by pretty quick. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so then next we have, I'm going to go over here to Instagram, Anaya Vitter Silva. I hope I said your name right, and she would love a reading. Thank you for being here, and I am going to do the angel therapy deck for you. And please feel free if you have any questions for any guidance, that would be great too. If you have a specific thing that you want to put on here and ask, that would be great. Okay. Okay, so what we have here, if you get nervous, focus on service. Put your entire intention on answering the question, how am I making this world a better place? And the law of attraction will automatically take care of your needs. Right here, and this is interesting because there's more in this. So right now, whatever you do, whatever is at your fingertips, is being asked to share. And that's the beauty of it, because you don't have to search far or wide. It's your experience that is going to be able to benefit and help yourself and help for others. And in this, also there's something with books, with research, with you writing things. I'm seeing kind of like a blogger is what's coming through, and your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, and selling spiritually based books. And in this, you will be able to turn your wisdom into blogging, and that's starting right there. And even if it feels like you don't have the time, there's plenty of time to do it. And just start by giving people little tidbits of it, and then add more to it. And that little will go a long way because you'll start building upon it. Then for the next card, it is Law of Attraction. So you're getting one at the beginning, one at the end, kind of sandwiched in right in the middle of it, which tells me how also important books are. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware to energies. So really that inward reflection and that thought process of connecting with your divine self and with your higher self and with your creator is exactly the thoughts, pondering and praying and meditation is what your words are going to be for your writing. So start with blogging. I'm seeing that your blogging and your journaling will become your books, so that will all of that will encompass your life purpose. So those are the cards for you, and I'm so happy that you were here with us. Thank you. Let's see, I was thinking doing a blog or a site, so thank you so much. Thank you so much. Confirmation. Yay. And let us know what it will be if you post it, and then we could follow you because we're all supportive of each other. We're all in this thing together. So thank you. Okay, your turn.
Let's see, there's Faith Walters or Waters?
Waters, yes.
Hi, I want to thank you very much. Could you please pull a card for me for my mother, please? I need God, angels to help her more because she's always asking him, but I don't know what's happening. She helps everyone. Love her so much. Oh, what a beautiful name too. And
yes. Both names,
yeah,
Faith and Waters. Very beautiful. Well,
okay, Faith. So, I've just reached over and grabbed the Mother Mary cards. Oh, we got a jumper.
We have a jumper. Popper.
Actually, we have two. Love and Father. Oh, wow. And that's in the... She always asks him, but I didn't know. Okay, so I'll set those off to the side. Okay, so for the first of all, well, let's do it this way. So for the first card, I get marriage. I make a commitment to a healthy relationship with God, myself, and my partner. So here again, I'm getting that, you know, through the marriage, obviously, is being that it's your mother. I'm getting that, you know, she has a lot of her kids and you, of course, you know, watching over her, and the angels are watching over her. And, you know, God and the angels are watching over her, and sometimes we don't. You know, you say the prayer, but you leave the results to God, and we don't know what that looks like. But you just keep the prayer vigil going, keep the prayer coming. And leave the results to whatever is for her best and highest interest. And so I'm also getting, sometimes it's like I'm getting this for you, and this says inner child. I nurture the child within me through playfulness and self-care. So through this process with your mom, and you're asking her for prayer too, and please keep that up. Take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, take care of yourself so you can. Here's the thing: is like by taking care of yourself, you can be of maximum service to your mom. You know, and keeping the prayer vigils going and keeping that stuff up. And the next one is tenderness, and it says, "I am both gentle and powerful." So don't let remember that prayer is powerful, and it's I see this more so as an opportunity for you also to do some inner reflection as your mom's, going through what she needs to go through, checking with yourself and see what this brings up in you, and to, and again, to work on that so you can, again, be of more service to your mom. And sometimes, that's just, saying prayers or spending, time with her. and it's interesting that these were the two that popped up, and they were actually stuck together, and it was love. Love is the answer to all my questions. Pretty simple. And then the next one is Father. My true Father is God in heaven, who shines healing light upon me, my birth father, and our relationship. And so I'm also getting, that sending love to your birth father also, but also that know that the love your mom has for her, her father, her Father in heaven, and that's what it says here in your post. It says that she always asks him, and so her faith. Obviously, your name is Faith, but her faith is strong. So trust in her faith as well. That's more than likely why she's helps everybody, and and also by you taking care of yourself, sometimes it doesn't put that she needs to feel like she needs to take care of the others if we start taking care of our own. So Faith, lots of prayers to you and for you and your family, and thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Faith. And on Instagram we have Simone, pray because been given and given, but I know God's plans will soon change. And so, okay, we'll be adding you to the prayers and good thoughts going your way. And any other friends out there who want to also add their prayers for Simone on Instagram, please do. For
Sacred Angel Oracle.
Yes. Okay, so thank you for joining us, and you got it, girl. We have you covered. And let's see, so we're on Instagram.
Oh. That's it.
Okay.
Pocket Angel 444. Thank you for sharing.
Okay, so here we go, right over here. Constance. We're going to see Constance Vanberg. Hello, Constance. So glad you're here with us. Lots of love to you. And if there's time, can I get a reading? Love you too, Constance. So yes, you can. And I am going to go with the beautiful, if there's anything, I'm going to go with angel therapy for you, Constance. Okay? So thank you for joining us. Okay, so here we go. First card is Twin Flame. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationship. So what's coming through here is you're loving yourself, you're giving that love to yourself, and now it's time to give that love to a person who will be your partner. So you give so much love, it's time for you to be happy and in that union with someone else too, because you're completely comfortable underneath your own skin, and now it is time for you to hook up with someone else and share that great love that you have, and it's coming through. Don't run from it. Don't run from it, girl. You got a lot going on there and you have a lot to offer somebody, so don't shy away from it. And the next one is third eye chakra. It is safe for you to see the energy of love in all its forms, such as angels or as in visions. So your faith that you have has brought you to this place that you're ready for that romantic relationship because you know who your God is, and you're not going to substitute or subtract or take away from that. So it is time for you to open your heart up to that great love, to share and express that with someone. Now make sure it's on the same page of what you're doing, because you have this contract that is this beautiful contract with yourself and God, that you're like on this firing line of working with addictions and helping other people. So the person that you are with will have to have that same great love as you do. Otherwise it would almost be like no dice. It just, you would need that common thing because you're so entrenched in it yourself. And so it's time to let go of behaviors that are blocking you from your heart's desires, because you do want that great love in your life. So it's now time to allow that to happen. And ask God and your angels for help with having that be open to change that part of your old thinking that would that will allow you to be freed up to let that love in, because you're not going to go back to what it was before. And so you've got everything here to share that magnificent life with. Now it's just time for the next chapter, the next phase. So that's it for you, Constance. Love you bunches, and we'll see you soon. That was good, Constance. Invite me to your wedding with Doug. In fact, Doug, Doug would love to marry you, Constance.
Do the ceremony.
Do the ceremony. He does do ceremonies, just to put that out there. He's
Yes.
Yes. Love you. Ordained, yes.
Let's see. Over here on Instagram, you got Instagram. The names are interesting. So it looks like PSLO, PLSO,
Silosum. Hope we're saying it right, but that's 59. Who the reading's going through.
So it says, could you please pull a card for me to know whether or not to invest any money in this investment with a friend or not? So let's just go to Angel Answers.
Very good question. Very good question.
Yeah. Okay, so what comes up here? The first card is to take action, which you already are doing because you're here at this point in asking, about moving forward in this. Where to go? With a friend or not. So here it is, taking action. And obviously there's an investment that you've been thinking about, or you're already moving in that direction. And here the next card, it says within the next few months. So check in, ask questions, talk to other people, but do this within the next few months, and just to keep things moving, keep things going. And it's like what you're already doing here. It says ask for help, ask for help from others. So here again, you're already doing this thing. I don't usually do this, but I'm drawn to just pull a card from the Angels of Abundance.
Oh, nice.
And it says, the first card is, being that it's, finances, it says, have courage to ask for help and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength. It is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered to other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you're guided. So the first stuff, when I see this, the first, I try to go with the first thing that pops in that I get, and mine was yes. That I got that was yes. And here again, getting help from others. So it's by doing the investment, it broadens your abilities and assets, or not assets, but what am I looking for? So you can do more. So you can be of service more to others, basically. And so, yeah. And here again, keeping that friendship key. Keeping that if you're doing this with a friend, make sure that that is like don't let that get in the way between the relationship. That's what also comes up. So by asking help and letting others come through, and give you assistance, working together in partnership, it helps. It helps broaden and be able to do more things. So I'm getting a yes.
Beautiful. Thanks for joining us there too on Instagram. And so now I am going to go over to Facebook. So we're trying to switch off here. Let's see. Okay. Melissa Jimenez. I'd love a reading from either one of you, and sending you love and light always. Okay,
Hello,
Melissa. Hello, Melissa. So I'm going to go with this deck here. Thank you for joining us. Okay. Messages from your angels is what's coming through. Oh, this one was popping. Got to take that one whenever they do that. Okay.
Unless a bunch of them do that, just means you drop the deck. Right?
Okay, so for Melissa, we have spiritual growth. So you're in this phase right now of this beautiful, beautiful phase of this new awareness, this new beauty, and it's kind of like there's all of these doors that are available and open for you. So you're going through this big, huge change, and it's absolutely wonderful. And the beauty of it, I'm also seeing that it was kind of, it was one of those things in there showing like this lotus, coming out from the mud and becoming this beautiful flower, and of this beautiful awakening. And that's a very good place to be, because once again, you'll be able to have this as an opportunity for you to share with others what it is, and it looks like from doing this that your heart is going to be filled, and it's this new love, this passion. And what's coming is it's like working with young mothers, and that's a very beautiful thing, and it will be very inspiring, and it builds families together, and it creates that thing of showing that, like, if I did it, you can do it. There's something really strong in there for that, and people will really love what you have to offer, and it's something with working with youth, with younger teenagers, and so you don't have to go too far to find what your niche is on that. And then the next card is forgiveness. So there's something here that is weighing on you, and it's coming through that to forgive is divine. And that is one of the hardest things, but that forgiveness is first and foremost for yourself first. And then once you learn how to forgive yourself first, then you are able to extend that out to others. And there's just beauty in it, and there's this really quietening of the heart that's happening right now. It's kind of like this veneers coming off in this beautiful space that you're in. And so it's really important for you to share that love with others, and to show other people how you got through that too. And also share that gift with the people around you. So thank you for being with us, Melissa. Okay. Now I want to go to Instagram.
Over here on Instagram.
And we're at about 11:53 Pacific Standard Time. We do this every week at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursdays.
Let's see. Oh, here we go. Where'd it go? Oh, Sacred Angel Oracle. Husband and I are going vegan. Any guidance from you and or cards?
Awesome. Congratulations with that, Sacred Angel.
Well, let's
Very
see.
good.
Actually, let's go with the Archangel Raphael. Also, with going vegan, and then I'm sure you do your homework and research, and for that, and taking care of your proteins and whatnot. Let's see, unconditional joy, divine intervention, and yes. That's pretty bold. And then it's like, any questions? Okay, so unconditional joy. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for helping me appreciate everything that makes me happy right now.
Aww.
And it's, puppies are here.
And the animals are all around it, so the choice is spot on.
The animals love your choice.
Yeah.
So here again, that unconditional joy, which is what that's like. I love somebody. They said that that animals are not unconditional. They are pure love. That the animals are pure love, pure intelligence. And so here, the next card is divine intervention. Dear Archangel Raphael, thank you for being with, and then put the name of the person and helping describe the situation. I have faith in divine intervention, and I fully accept your guidance now. And for this, the divine intervention, it's like, you know, keep going, you know, following through with your guidance, and trusting that internal, you know, guidance that you get. You know, it's like my sponsor or my mentor, he says, you know, stuff like this comes up, it's like, he says, that's just God banging on your heart. It's like just to listen to it and move forward. And so obviously this is a, you know, this one is yes. Dear Archangel Raphael, please help me trust my feelings and the accurate barometer of truth. So awesome. Here again, you know, trust in the direction that you're going, and you know, it's just a green, no pun intended, green light, Archangel Raphael, green. So awesome.
Okay.
Yes, I love the unconditional joy with the animals that popped up.
And Kismet's here.
Hey, Kismet.
Kismet, hi. Hello, Kismet. Okay, so Kismet would like a card too. I'm going to go with the Flower Fairy deck by Doreen and Robert. Kismet. Okay. Love it. Okay, Kismet. So from the Flower Fairy flower deck, flower therapy, is balance, work, rest, and play, the yellow rose. It's important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. So here it is, and make sure to balance. All work and no play makes for kind of like the lack of energy. So make sure you get out there outside. I'm just seeing just kind of like this. Fresh doors, fresh outdoors. Get yourself some succulent plants or something and do your thing outdoors, and just start small. And just being out in that fresh air in the nature will rejuvenate and take off that work to the grind and, you know, that daily stuff. And so you've got another one here, which is purification with the white rose. So 2 roses in a row is showing me stop and smell the roses, so to speak. So kind of turn off that clock, and don't put pressure on yourself. And by purifying your life of negative people, places, and experiences, you attain true peace. And by getting out in nature, not behind closed doors, because you can make it very beautiful indoors and like that beautiful space that's safe, but you're really being called to get out with the sun, out with the moon, and just listening to the birds singing and looking at nature and the animals. So here's the next card for you, is Wise Soul, the azalea. Your soul carries ancient wisdom. Please embrace it as you have the knowledge to help those around you. So it's very important for you to get out there and do it. And in that prayer in contemplation, you will find all of the answers that you need. But you've really got a lot in store and stories in you that needs to come out. Okay, so you have what it takes to go the distance with this. And so we have one more. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. For our week.
We got 1 minute, 48 seconds over on Instagram.
So I'm going with abundance.
Thank you for joining us over on Instagram.
Yes.
As well.
Instagram, sending you lots of love. And if you need to see the rest of it, come over, swing on over to Facebook on how to get your life back. The pressure with 1 minute. Ooh. Okay. Awesome. Oh. Focus on your priorities. That's for us all. And where you put your focus is on where you receive your outcome. Have courage to ask for it, accept, and receive help. Ask for it. So you're not in this alone. This is twice this came up today. So I know I'll sure be doing this. And so now obstacles and blocks are being and have been lifted. So anything that is an obstacle or a block, donate it, get it out of your life, remove it, push it to the curb. Push it to the curb. So it's 12 o'clock, high noon, and we're sending you lots of love. Thank you for joining us today. And we'll close in our usual manner, which is the light in me honors the light in you, which is just like any other peaceful, beautiful ending. Namaste.
Namaste. Have fun.
Have fun. Bye-bye. Phew, we made it.